We are the 13, the first, the forgotten. Each of us serving a function vital to the survival of the universe. Each of us designated a prime and given a function to serve during the long march of infinity. Vector Prime. Vector Prime in the beginning. Hello and welcome to ALW Collectibles. Today we're jumping back into the world of Transformers, Age of the Prime, the new toy line for 2025, with a video I think has been very anticipated on this channel with all the teasers I put out for it and previews. Megatronus, the Fallen. And there he is in all his glory. I've got to say right at the beginning, I'm a fan of this toy. I really like the way this one looks. We're going to get a little bit of detail into the weapons and to the history of the toy. But having said that, what an assortment you get with this guy. Of course, you get all his little accessories, him, and his instruction sheet. And he comes with a lot of features and a couple hidden bonuses that are not listed on the instructions. Having said that, let's take a look at what he comes with. First off, he comes with the Requiem Blaster. A powerful weapon in the history of Transformers and of the 13th Primes. It's done in purple with yellow. It's got the Megatronus symbol right on top on red. Gunmetal gray right here. Black. And this is actually modeled after the Requiem Blaster from the Power of the Primes Machinima cartoon. And this does transform. We will do that when we are transforming him. Next, rather basic piece. It's just a cannon. This is a standalone weapon and an accessory to the Requiem Blaster. All done in black. Looks pretty cool. Reminds me of the front of Megatron's cannon. Next comes his missile pod. Pretty much done in a gunmetal gray, dark gunmetal gray with silver missiles. And it's just plugged in by a 5mm port. Next up is his Energon machete, which I think that is a nice touch. That looks really cool. Silver with the black. Not a fan of how blocky this is, but when it's all completed and everything's assembled, it looks really nice in his hands. Next comes the Spark Infuser weapon, which is modeled after his appearance in the 2015 Robots in Disguise cartoon. This was the weapon he wielded in that show. Purple with silver. Looks really cool. This does come apart. 2 pieces. But you'll notice the way it is designed here, it only goes together one way. And then you get the 4 fire effects, 2 large ones and 2 small ones. These are left and right. And it does have a 5mm peg. And then you got the 2 small ones. And these are left and right as well. You got a 5mm port there and a 5mm peg on the bottom. And all of this does attach to him. And having said that, let's take a look at Megatronus himself. That looks really, really sharp. I like this look. The toy design is inspired by his look in Transformers War Within, the Dark Ages book. He's got a really menacing look. A lot of darker tones on him. You get a dark purple with the black and the gunmetal gray. And the head kind of reminds me a lot of Soundwave, just the way it laid out. You have the purple with the black and the yellow. Or yellowish red, I should say. It looks really nice. detail work was spot on. A lot of intricate detailing in the plastic. So credit to the designers for this one. You got a lot of 5mm peg ports on him. Two. You got 3 on the arm, 2 on the back. Nothing on his feet though. So one of the unknown features that are not listed in the instructions is all the yellow red on him is UV light activated. It'll actually give like a glow, giving it the impression he has a lot of internal energy activated. So that was a nice touch. I don't have a UV light to show you, but I've seen it on videos and it looks fantastic. Looks really nice. That with some of the metallic purple on him, like you get this piece here is metallic purple and then the metallic purple on the head, it just pops so nice. Articulation with this guy. Head can go all the way around, up and down, does a full exorcist. Now he does have a transformation joint right here which can be used in robot to extend his arm. Shoulder. Up. Bicep. Elbow. Wrist. And his hand does open and close. This piece can be moved. On the back, if you want to mess with these are movable. Those are for transformation, but you can do a lot of fun things with them. His hip guards move. He does have full waist rotation. Nice big boot. Nice back. Hip. And for transformation though, you can actually, and no, it won't do it. Oh, I'm not going to fight with it. We'll do it later. Fairly decent knee bend, pretty standard. Rotation of the knee. Ankle tiltage. Yeah, now he doesn't want to do it. I'll do it when we transform. Alrighty. So he looks really cool. Posability on this thing is amazing. So let's armor him up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, plugs in right here. Next we're going to come to his cannon. It does have a peg on the back if you flip it down. Plugs in right behind here where the screw is. Like so. Next we're going to do the flames. You'll notice there's 2 pegs right up here. And these just plug in so that the port on the back is facing backwards. Like so. Next we're going to do the big ones. And the way they should be is how this is designed. Using this port here. Of course. Now, of course, because my video is going pretty decent, it's going to give me trouble. Like that. Did I do that backwards? 1 second, I just got to double check that. I think I just put those on backwards. Yes, I did. For some reason, I always do this backwards. So they should be facing up, the flames. I don't know why I do that. Yeah, there we go. I just double check with the instructions. And same thing. Plug that into that side. Next, we take his machete, open up either hand. Nip it in. Spark extractor, same thing. This one's not going to clip, so you're just going to close the hand around it. I mean, you can use the peg on the bottom if you want. And then just plug the Requiem blaster into any port on him. And there he is, fully armored up. Let's bring the camera up just a little bit so you can see him a little bit better. You can tell it's not a professional setup. It is mine and I do like it. That looks really, really nice. And even with all those accessories on him, he is still very, very posable. Now we're going to go into transformation. So let's unarm him. This is probably where editing would come in a lot of very handy for me, and maybe one day I will learn it, but I kind of like doing it like this. Okay. The transformation is not overly complicated. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come to the hands. We're going to open the internal cap, fold the hands in so the thumb is out, and close. Same thing. Trying to keep it somewhat on camera here for you. Now comes where I love doing this part. Pop the shoulders out. Like so. This front plate is going to separate from the back. Like so. This plate here with the shoulders is going to come down and out of your way. What I do just to make it easier for a few minutes, I flip the arms that way. This is how I do it. Now, there's a double hinge in here. Oh, I forgot to do part. I'm sorry. Open this up all the way. I forgot to pull this pin out. Now this will come out of the way completely. You'll see the opening I made in here for these pieces here to flip up. First time I did that, I struggled with that because I couldn't figure out how to do that. Kind of skipping a few steps, but it makes it so much easier. Take his head, turn it around. These two plates on the front, flip forward, like so. And this whole plate rotates. Just like that. Now we're going to come to the back. Bring these out. This piece here comes up on the double rocker, rotates around, and comes back down. That all clips together. This comes forward and back at an angle. Reason being is you'll see this spot right here is going to tab into that tab right there. So you're going to flip that back and tab that in. And that only tabs in at an angle. And there's the front of his vehicle, just like that. Next, just take this whole assembly and bring it right out of your way for a few minutes. Take the hips, bring the hips around. Now we're going to take the hip guards and just swing them up. Like so. Next, we're going to take this spot and bring these all the way up, like that. Bring his feet forward a little. Open the back piece here. Flip the foot in and reclose these. Now you're going to take from the knee and rotate it in. Like that. The double hip joint pops there, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's a tab. How can I do this? There we go. Now you can see it. There's a tab inside there, and there's a tab right here. That's going to clip into that. Same thing on the other side. That's the problem, is this top half keeps coming in my way. Oh no, one whole side just can't. Oh man, he just completely untransformed on me. Ah, okay. Megatronus, why are you doing this? Yeah. This purple plate's going to come down. Like so. And you'll notice it has two pegs on it. And there's two pegs. One here. And one on this side. Those are going to peg into that. Like so. Okay, we got a slight headache here. Oh, I see what I did. Whoops. I made a boo-boo. Why do I always end up doing this? I forgot to refold that piece back up. I'm so sorry to show people that backwards. I'm looking at it and I'm like, why does that not line up? So we got to backtrack a couple seconds here. That shows you I'm not a professional at this. I practiced transforming him and I still made a mistake. So you're supposed to bring this piece back up and then fold this down where the head's going to be in the way. And then fold all that together. That's the way it should look. And we just reconnect all this again. Leave it to me. Now, bring this part flat and you'll notice there's two ports there, two pins here. That's all going to clip together. Now I'm going to bring it up on the first hinge and leave it. And this is how I do it. And don't forget to take the arms and turn them around so that the pegs are on the inside now. We're going to set him aside for a second, because now we need the Requiem blaster in this piece. First thing we're going to do is open the Requiem blaster and extend it. Take this piece in the back, flip it out of your way. Take the barrel, open the peg, and that's going to peg right into here. And right here where that screw is, that's going to plug it on one side. It's going to flip down into the middle. Who knew? Come on. There we go. And it's going to do the same on the other side. Without making me look like I'm insane. Make sure it's all nice and tight. And there is Megatronus in his tank form, his armored tank form. As he rolls off my pedestal. Stay! That is really cool. That is even before we armor him up with everything. I think that looks really nice. Little bio on him. The Dark Warrior, who is in touch with entropy and destruction, known as Megatronus, the most powerful of the 13 primes. Most continuities is the betrayer and cast out of the primes. The very first Decepticon. He has a deep romantic connection to Solus Prime in almost every continuity. So, interesting backstory. I would suggest reading some on him. And the instructions say to do this part. I'll do that when I armor him up because I like leaving it down if you're not putting all his weapons on him. But let's take a look at that. That looks nice. You got a lot of 5mm pegs. You can really armor this thing up nicely. Got some down here on the treads. And I just like the way it looks. It looks like it's heavily armored and ready for battle. Got spikes all along the side. I really wish they painted the treads though. Done something with the treads instead of just leaving them black. I just like the way the overall design looks with everything. It flows together nicely. And he rolls with no hesitation. And the tank turret can go up and down. It does. And it does turn. We'll go all the way around. So you got some mobility and range on him. Even in there, that looks really cool. How it's still... You can see the robotic parts, but then it doesn't look like a robot at the same time, in my opinion. So it looks really nice. Especially, I like how the hip guards are in here. You can see them, but they're kind of tucked away. And you got a little bit of the yellow showing. So, nice design on this. And to armor him up, you have to do a little bit of assembly with some parts. So, namely, the spark extractor, the machete, and the two small pieces. First, you're going to take these two and stick them together, like so. Then you're going to take these, doesn't matter which side you put them on, and they go on this peg here, like so. And it doesn't matter left or right, you can put it on. You're going to use this peg here, and that notch back here, and that part on the... So we're going to plug this in and notch it in, like so. Next, we're going to bring this piece up and turn it. That's what the instructions say to do right away. Like I said, I don't do it unless I armor it. And then you plug this in on the top here. Bring it around the shoulder. And you just plug these in. Like so. And there he is. All armored up. Ready to take on Unicron or anybody who stands in his path. Apparently it's me. So this has been Megatronus the Fallen. Leader class for 2025. And what a toy. It looks fantastic. I was really excited to get this. I can't wait to see the next ones they come out with. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this one. This has been ALW Collectibles. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe if you wish. Comments are always welcome. I want to say thank you to all the channel members and subscribers. I appreciate it. There's a lot more videos coming. This man is going to go join the rest of his brethren, and I'm going to get ready for another video. Have a good day.